Love marriage versus arranged marriage.
Any marriage in which you have the freedom of choice.
A couple involved are getting to meet. What are the top 3 questions that they should ask each other or get to know about each other before they take the decision to get married? So, is porn addiction very common?
Oh, huge. And more of internet era, a lot of men especially, they start watching at a very early age. Are you a night person or a morning person? Are you a healthy eater or you're a junk eating person? Do you love to socialize and are a party animal, or you are a more homeworm? Opposites attract, but living together with opposites is a challenge.
While dating, I felt that the person was really spending on me, but after we got married, the way I deserve it is not happening.
आज जो आपको पसंद है may not be that you will like the same thing after 5 years. After marriage, they are not just responsible for those 2 hours of dating, they are responsible for entire life. And I will say 100% of the time, challenges in the relationship is because of expectations. If you have a desire, you and only you are responsible for that. Your partner is not.
Very, very beautiful.
So don't get into a relationship thinking मेरे इतने सारे सपने हैं, शादी कर लेती हूँ, वो मेरे सारे सपने पूरे करेगा. I like to experience life. I like to travel. I don't like to cook. And why is it so difficult for even today's generation to understand that? Where is the time to get bored today?
Right.
People are not finding time to spend time with their partner. People are not finding time to spend time with their kids. We are a woman, okay? आप गाड़ी में बैठते हैं. You drive?
Yeah.
गाड़ी में बैठते हैं. अब गाड़ी में बैठते हैं तो गाड़ी ऑन करते पता चलता है मशीनरी में क्या प्रॉब्लम है. बट एक बंदे को हर बार समझ में आता है.
What are some of the most common challenges that you see couples facing in today's era?
And then if you see that after marriage, son-in-law, even if he calls his in-laws once a year or once in 6 months, it is a lot.
Yes.
But a daughter-in-law is expected to call her in-laws every week. तुमने मम्मी से बात नहीं की.
Yeah.
So all such subtle things which looks like ये तो बहुत normal है, but normal नहीं है.
We are generation of independent women, financially probably, but I still feel that I don't see enough independent women in their thinking. When you coach people, so what do you do to make them understand that they have to become independent in their thinking?
And again, speaking for myself is not fighting. See, most of the time, when first time something happens, we don't speak. Second time, we don't speak. Third time, we don't speak. Then by the time fifth or sixth time, we are so full. If we speak, we are actually fighting and blasting out. कुछ लोग की अपब्रिंगिंग होती है, कैजुअली लेते हैं. तो उनको तब तक रियलाइज नहीं होता जब तक आप you don't put a dead stop.
हड़ताल पे ना चले जाओ.
हड़ताल पे ना चले जाओ. आपको इंडिपेंडेंट वर्किंग वुमन चाहिए, तो आपको ये समझना पड़ेगा ना कि उसके साथ और क्या लाइफस्टाइल चेंजेस आ रहे हैं. आपकी मम्मी जो हाउसवाइफ थी, उसकी तरह आपकी बीवी आपका ध्यान, आपके घर का ध्यान नहीं रख सकती.
The paradigm shift that we all want as women will not happen if we are not willing to shift our own ways of treating our own self. वो प्रिंस चार्मिंग आके रेस्क्यू करे, वो थॉट अभी भी है कहीं ना कहीं हमारे माइंड्स में, राइट? बिकॉज वी आर एक्सपेक्टिंग दैट आउट ऑफ आवर हस्बैंड्स. Is it practically possible to juggle both?
Why do you want good relationship with everybody on earth? You need to have a great relationship with yourself first.
Hi Suchita.
Hi Nimisha.
Thank you for coming on the Quiet Reset podcast. I'm very excited and looking forward to our conversation on relationships and how one can reset their relationships with their loved ones, with their own selves. And I think this is one of my favorite topics forever, as I was telling you before. So I'm very, very excited about our conversation. And thank you so much for agreeing to come on this podcast and for giving me the opportunity to have this conversation with you.
Thanks for inviting me, Nimisha. It's a pleasure to talk to you every time.
So let's start with the age-old question. Love marriage versus arranged marriage.
So any marriage in which you have the freedom of choice, and second, you get enough time to spend with the other person before you make that choice.
Very interesting. What is enough time?
See, it is individual. But most of the time, we still hear on a day-to-day basis, lot of females say that बंदा कमाता अच्छा है, अच्छी फैमिली से है, so I had no reason to say no.
Oh, okay.
And so they are not given a chance to say no. So it's like there's so much of pressure that parents have done the background check and सब हो गया है, तो क्या reason है? I mean, you have to. It's not just that कि अगर कमाता अच्छा है, अच्छी फैमिली से है, means that we can resonate. It's important to spend time. It's important to know how we relate to each other. How does he respond to me, or how do I respond to him? And unless you spend that time, you really don't know you can spend the life with that person. It's a big tricky question.
तो फिर तो you are suggesting love marriage where people are spending time with each other. But do you also see that love marriages also fail or they face some other kind of challenges?
So, see, after marriage, it's a different ball game. I'm talking about to get married. You're saying love marriage or arranged marriage. I am in
Okay.
pro with both. I'm just saying there are parents who are very open to this idea where they say that, ki, okay, if my kid wants to meet 1 time, 2 times, 4 times, 10 times, they are open to that.
So in that case, even arranged marriage is a good way
Yes,
to look
yes,
at
of
things.
course. Why? Because I also feel in arranged marriage, if parents are getting you, alliances, there will be a certain match of background. Like if somebody is a business community people and let's say their revenues are like 10 CR, so they have that kind of lifestyle. Now they will not look for somebody who has a job which is a 1 CR salary. So the basics of matching is done that ways. The only
Okay.
challenge is most of the time they say that because we reached out, we know their family, they know us, and we have already spoken, you don't have a reason, don't say no. So they're hardly given 1 or 2 chances to meet and then they say, ab decision batao. So then that becomes challenging for the couple.
Okay. So let's take both scenarios, whether it's a love marriage, whether it's an arranged marriage, and hopefully the couple involved are getting to meet. What are the top 3 questions that they should ask each other or get to know about each other before they take the decision to get married?
So I think the first 3 basics is lifestyle, finances, and family.
What do you mean by lifestyle?
So lifestyle as in what's their way of living? Like, are you a night person or a morning person? Are you a healthy eater or you're a junk eating person? Do you love to socialize and are a party animal or you are a more homeworm? You love to travel or you like to stay at home? Or somebody who loves to adventure, like they love to have adventure in life, risk taking, and
They
the other
like to have the thrilling activities
thrilling.
happening.
It's not activities, I'm saying they like thrill in life, and that will show in every aspect of their life. And let's say the other person is a very safe player. So
Okay.
now these kind of contrast is something which is very difficult to navigate on when you live with that person, and most of the time we are not willing to know that.
But
कि अच्छा
people
ठीक
often
है.
say na ki opposites attract, and have you seen that it's actually more challenging when people with very varied interests, very opposite interests, and we are not talking about everything else. Maybe emotionally they could be opposite, but interest wise or lifestyle wise, do opposite people have a better chance of making it in the relationship, or is it people with similar interests?
Opposites attract, but living together with opposites is a challenge. If let's say I
So
love
that's half
eating,
the story.
yeah, if I love eating healthy and you always love eating junk, once in a blue moon, if we meet, it's great. I would love to try junk food with you and you would love to try healthy meal with me. But if we are living together, then daily I want to eat healthy and daily you want like, okay, this is boring.
So that grind of your daily tasks, in which I think people don't get to know while they're dating. It's only
Yes.
after marriage that people realize कि यार ये तो बहुत ही अलग था. मतलब the same things which we were liking about somebody is not working out after they get married.
Partially, you do get to know while dating also. See, most of the cases that they come, they have seen these early signs during dating.
Oh,
Is there just that choose to ignore कि अरे मुझे बहुत अच्छा लग रहा है तो ठीक है ये सब चीजें
ये
handle हो
तो हो
जाएगा.
जाएगा handle. अच्छा.
So
Okay.
when you see something, don't ignore it. Speak about it. Do talk about it and see how willing both of you are to talk things out and resolve. Sometimes it's the effort that counts. That आज जो आपको पसंद है may not be that you will like the same thing after 5 years. So choices तो बदलने वाली हैं. आज मुझे पार्टी करना बहुत पसंद है, but if I cross 30 and suddenly I feel हो गया बहुत. Now I want to get more spiritual in nature. I want to read books. I want to spend quality time with myself. That change can happen, and it's happening to all of us. Every few years, we are a different human being. But the only difference is if we both are willing to make an effort towards each other, we can sail through any situation.
Interesting. So the second question that you spoke about is finances. So again, in finances, one is the family background, but apart from that, young people who meet each other, what should they understand about each other's finances or financial probably mindset? Like, how do I know that if this person is financially compatible with me or not?
So more of first is the basic lifestyle.
Hmm.
Say if I am living, I have grown up in a family where I've seen there is always a chauffeur driven car that takes me from home to school or school to anywhere. That becomes my basic. And for somebody, it could be a luxury to have a driver. If I've grown up where I've seen a live-in maid 24 cross 7, one who takes care of cleaning, one who takes care of cooking, I've seen that. Then if I'm growing up in that environment, that becomes my basic. So I will not know there
उसके
are
बिना रहना क्या
people,
होता?
yeah, there are people who live without servants also.
You come across such people?
Oh, yes.
Wow.
Yes. And so first is that,
It must be so difficult for them, right?
yes, yes. So financially knowing that you guys are more or less at the same level, or at least if the provider, the earning member, if the woman is also earning, then you can probably create your own lifestyle. But if the man is the provider, then is he able to provide the kind of lifestyle you are used to growing up? Somebody for them, it's a 2 lakh rupees is a basic lifestyle, and somebody says 50,000 mein ghar chal jata hai. Oh, there's a huge difference. And it's going to be a daily churn to deal with this. Second, financially is also your attitude towards money. Are you a saving kinds or you are spending kinds? One wants to spend on lifestyle and they feel हम पैसा कमा ही रहे हैं
उड़ाने के
lifestyle
लिए।
नहीं उड़ाने के लिए lifestyle पे spend करने के
हाँ।
लिए अच्छा घर होगा अच्छी गाड़ी होगी अच्छे कपड़े होंगे what are we earning for so that we can have a great lifestyle and for some it could be we are earning so that I can save and invest and grow the money. Now both needs to be there in each person to some extent, but there are times one is extreme and the other is other extreme. So you need to understand like कि okay lifestyle पे बंदा खर्चा करता है कि नहीं बंदी खर्ची करती है मतलब are you both
So when you spend time with each other, it's not just questioning each other, it's also just
observing.
right?
It's observing.
Because questioning becomes very awkward, isn't it? Like I can't ask somebody ki, "Arey, how much do how much would you like to spend or things like that. It and often doesn't, you'll not even get
Well,
good answers.
You don't ask that kind of question, but you can definitely ask, okay, do you love to spend or do you love to save? Or does it make sense for you to spend once in a year on a luxury vacation? Does it make sense for you to buy normal clothes or save up and buy something good? So general conversations when you go shopping together, when you go movie together, small, are they spending on buying a popcorn or it does look like a waste of money? Or they don't mind, they eat and go to the movie or they order at the movie. Or some people are very particular, कि movie halls में खाना बहुत महंगा होता है, so we'll have food and then go. Now, I'm just saying there is nothing wrong in this. It's just a personal choice. But if somebody is just so used to doing this from childhood, these things will start becoming conflict. Then they will say, "तुम जानबूझ के खर्चा नहीं कर रहे हो." But for him, it looks like it's a waste of money. And for me, it's like a vacation is like, yeah, I mean, once a year, I deserve to have that kind of vacation where I'm having a luxury. But if my partner feels, oh, it's a waste of money to spend on vacations, then that becomes a conflict. No?
Interesting. What I'm hearing here is that money in very subtle ways can also become a problem. So often
Yes.
people end up end the conversation with how much do you earn, but
Oh,
it's
yeah.
not just the income which determines how much is the person going to, not how much, but how they're going to spend their money or how they're going to save their money. Because uh, again, lifestyle, I think, plays a very important role in finances also, is what you're saying.
Yeah. If they are earning more, doesn't mean they are going to spend on you. Get that very clear.
Often people say this na ki while dating I felt that the person was really spending on me, but after we got married I'm not seeing that kind of like the way I deserve it is not happening. And what I have at least seen is, because I have been married for almost 10 years now, I have seen that once you get married, you start thinking more for the growth of the family rather than just thinking in terms of, do I please this person? And I think that becomes like a general mindset. Now, and I think that's where the conflict starts, because if the one of the partner is not okay with this, even though you're earning like a lot and पहले आपको impress करने के लिए कुछ भी कर रहे थे, वो शायद अभी ना करेंगे, तो how do you navigate this change? Because I'm still confused ki, let's say I asked you 10 questions, I've also observed, hey, you were buying me flowers earlier, but now you don't want to do that because now we are family. These kind of situations happen.
These kind of situations happen, but first I want to tell you, when you are dating somebody, let's connect with the intention. So don't say that they are doing only to please you for the temporarily. They're really in love, and in love people go crazy, they do things, so they are doing. But after marriage, they are not just responsible for those 2 hours of dating, they are responsible for entire life.
Correct.
So they have to provide you a house, they have to provide you clothing, they have to provide you a lifestyle, they have to provide everything to you. Along with that, they have to do those extra things.
Correct.
So that needs more money. And that needs more expenditure. So many times you got to understand, if you have a desire, you and only you are responsible for that.
Very
Your
interesting.
partner is not.
Very, very beautiful.
So don't get into a relationship thinking मेरे इतने सारे सपने हैं, शादी कर लेती हूँ, वो मेरे सारे सपने पूरे करेगा. Please don't think that. वो अपने सपने पूरे करेगा, आप अपने सपने पूरे करो.
So that also means that each person in the relationship needs to be independent, not just financially, but their own expectations and their own, ability to meet those expectations.
100%. See, 99, or I will say 100% of the time, challenges in the relationship is because of expectations. And expectation comes because I can't fulfill my expectation by myself. So then I want you to fulfill my expectation. If you're not doing that, then I'll keep fighting with you. So instead of wasting time in fighting, grow yourself to fulfill your own expectations. Or if you can't fulfill, then come down. You know your expectations are way beyond your means. So I always want a Gucci bag, but I can't afford it. Then
don't want it.
Then don't want it till you can afford it.
Interesting.
Doesn't mean that somebody else will keep buying a Gucci for me.
Very interesting. The third aspect that you spoke was family.
Yes.
Questions about family. What kind of questions again?
See, main is that how attached they are with their family. Attachment and connection and commitment are two different things. We all are committed to our parents that we are going to take care of them. In case of any health issue, hospitalization, we are going to step up and go there financially, physically, whatever we can do. But on a day-to-day basis, how attached they are, that their parents or siblings have what kind of interference or influence on their decisions is important to understand. So just knowing that, okay, he loves his sister a lot, but is his sister somebody he has to consult before taking any decision?
Very interesting.
He loves his parents as something different, but is his parents mandatory for every decision he takes?
Same goes with women also, right?
Yes. So I'm just saying, you need to understand that how much is the parents' influence in their life. Now, it's more, I'm talking about his side, because still in India, women are going to men's house. If you see, before marriage, a woman is earning, man is earning. Woman is living her life, he is living his life. And so, women will be more protected by the parents because safety is a concern. Men will have lesser protection by them. But the moment the marriage happens, that much expectation is not there from the husband.
Yes.
Son-in-law does not have to get up in the morning.
There is no expectation.
There's no expectation. So
that's the reality of it.
Yeah. So they don't have to get up in the morning. They don't have to make the breakfast.
If they do anything basic, that's like, oh my God, like
he does so much.
He does so much.
So you don't have to dress up a certain way. You don't have to do puja a certain way. You don't have to follow rituals a certain way. All these things is coming to the woman. Now, if a woman have to deal only with her husband, and then husband wife have to come to conclusion कि okay, हम कितने बजे उठेंगे, हम क्या करेंगे, हम कैसे अपनी life जिएंगे, it's easier. But if you have to come to terms with mother-in-law, father-in-law, sister-in-law, brother-in-law, and everybody, and you have to take care of everybody's expectation, then it becomes huge. And then if you see that after marriage, son-in-law, even if he calls his in-laws once a year or once in 6 months, it is a lot.
Yes.
But a daughter-in-law is expected to call her in-laws every week. तुमने मम्मी से बात नहीं की.
Yeah.
So all such subtle things which looks like ये तो बहुत normal है, but normal नहीं है. अगर आज आप सुबह उठते हो, तैयार होते हो, ऑफिस जिम जाते हो, जिम से आते हो, ऑफिस जाते हो, ऑफिस से आते हो, खाना खाते हो, सो जाते हो.
That's a lifestyle,
That's
right?
a lifestyle for it's a male or a female anybody.
Yes.
अगर वर्किंग है तो. बट शादी होते ही साथ उस लाइफस्टाइल के साथ एक और पैरेलल लाइफस्टाइल ऐड हो जाना, टाइम किधर है, एनर्जी किधर है.
Very interesting.
So if it is only between two people, it gets easier कि हम थोड़ा accommodate कर सकते हैं, adjust कर सकते हैं, we can figure out. But if it is extended family's expectation, then it gets very challenging for the woman.
So let's say, especially for women, they should have this in their agenda to understand ki how is their would-be partner going to respond to such situations, you're saying, right? If let's say I'm expected to do certain things and I'm not able to do it because of whatever my work commitments, how is my partner going to respond to that?
Right.
You're saying ki that needs to be understood even before you commit.
Yes.
And the second thing which you said was to understand who all are having an impact on your decision making.
His decision making,
His
your
decision
partner's
making.
decision making.
हाँ, interesting. समझ में आ सकता है ये सारी चीजें डेटिंग करते टाइम?
At least I can put my foot down, no? See, when you are dating to marry, if you say मुझे खाना नहीं बनाना, and I'm very clear कि मुझे खाना नहीं बनाना, 70% लोग आपको छोड़ के चले जाएंगे.
Really?
They will say कि नहीं मुझे शादी नहीं करनी.
शादी नहीं करेंगे, डेट कर लेंगे.
मतलब डेट कर लेंगे, मुझे शादी नहीं करनी, because if my wife is
You're not
willing to
homely
cook,
enough.
you're not willing to cook. Cooking is basic, no, for a woman. No, it's not. I don't like to cook, so I don't like to cook. I like to run a company. I like to grow. I like to experience life. I like to travel. I don't like to cook. And why is it so difficult for even today's generation to understand that? So at least women can put their foot down, and putting a foot down is not fighting. Is just being very clear that this is what I am willing to do and this I'm not willing to do. And if you are expecting this, then I'm not your woman.
Very interesting.
And most of the time, women don't say that because they fear rejection.
I was about to ask you that,
Yeah,
you come across a lot of people who still, I mean, we are the generation of independent women, financially probably, but I still feel that I don't see enough independent women in their thinking. That's
Yes.
my observation.
Yes.
When you coach people, and I think you also coach people after their marriages, right? So what do you do to make them understand that they have to become independent in their thinking?
See, when people start facing challenges, it's very easy in conversation. We keep asking them and they come to a conclusion, yes, my expectations are not being met. So I am not taking care of myself and I expect my man to take care of me. I am not buying what I want to buy and I expect him to buy that for me. I am not taking a stand in front of my in-laws for myself and I expect him to take a stand for me. So everything is कि अच्छी बहू बनने के लिए I will keep my lips sealed and I will keep expecting he should be man enough to do that. I agree and disagree both.
I was about to ask you
Okay.
that.
So agree to an extent कि there are things that you both can discuss कि should I speak or will you speak? Which one will make more impact with a lesser damage? That's a understanding between the couple.
Damage is guaranteed.
थोड़ा तो होगा ना. If like see when a parent says अरे आप in-laws में मत जाओ, मेरी मम्मी कुछ बोल रही है मैं नहीं सुनती हूँ, तो डैमेज है ना. शी इज अपसेट. तुम मेरी बेटी हो, तुम क्यों नहीं सुन रही हो? सो ये तो बहुत नेचुरल है ना. लाइक सो एंड इन लॉज की तरफ से तो ये बहुत नेचुरल है कि हमारी बहू है, कैसे नहीं सुनेगी. सो ये तो बहुत नेचुरल है. सो फॉरगेट अबाउट दैट. बट डैमेज एज इन लाइक
just emotional hurt, whatever they feel.
Lesser of rift in the family. How we can put it across. So there are things, अगर बेटा घर का जाके बोलता है, पेरेंट्स अपसेट भी होते हैं तो आधे घंटे बाद दे विल सिटिंग टुगेदर एंड हैविंग अ कॉफी. बट बहू बोलती है तो वो जिंदगी भर के लिए हो जाता है, बहू ने हमको ऐसे बोला. सो इट मेक्स सेंस इफ यू टू हैव दैट काइंड ऑफ ट्यूनिंग where you can say, okay, this is the challenge that we are facing, or this is what happened and I am not liking this. You want me to speak up for myself, or will you speak for me? But here also I'm not expecting. I'm having that conversation to get the clarity. And if he says, no, I don't think I want to speak, okay, then I'm going to speak for myself. And again, speaking for myself is not fighting. See, most of the time, when first time something happens, we don't speak. Second time, we don't speak. Third time, we don't speak. Then by the time fifth or sixth time, we are so full. If we speak, we are actually fighting and blasting out.
Yes.
Instead, in the first time, if I say, you know, you said this, I really did not like it. So they listen, they don't listen, that's up to them. But at least you start putting it out there. And after a couple of times, if they don't listen, then probably saying that it's not working for me, let's sit and talk. We all need to sit and talk. Whosoever is involved. If it is you and your husband, then you both sit and talk. And sometimes having a very dead stop, like stop functioning and sit and talk, because कभी-कभी कुछ लोग की upbringing होती है कैजुअल लेते हैं, तो उनको तब तक रियलाइज नहीं होता जब तक आप यू डोंट पुट अ डेड
हड़ताल पे ना चले जाओ।
हड़ताल पे ना चले जाओ। उनको लगता है कि ठीक है बोल रही है यार, बुरा लगा होगा, चल जाएगा, कल से ठीक है एडजस्ट कर लेगी, धीरे धीरे एडजस्ट हो जाता है।
हाँ।
बट उनको कभी कभी वो आपको डेड स्टॉप दिखाना पड़ता है कि ये नहीं चल रहा है यार, और आप उस लेवल तक पहुंचो जहां आपसे बिल्कुल बर्दाश्त नहीं हो रहा है, उसके बहुत पहले और बहुत प्यार से और शांति से बात कर सकते हैं।
I think very interesting thing you said is women let their hearts, their minds get full of these very uneventful thoughts and very sad thoughts, and then they sort of blast and burst, and then they are called कि लड़कियां या औरतें ज़्यादा झगड़ा करती है, whereas men, the very first time they don't like something, they'll say that I didn't like it, or whether it's their parents or their wives, they'll say कि मेरे को नहीं अच्छा लगा, मेरे को नहीं, I won't be doing it. I mean, you hear men say no so often, whereas women don't say no that often because they try to accommodate everybody. And that's perhaps one of the things why women are said to be the jhagadalu one in relationships, or the nagging ones, or the ones who are trying to damage the relationships, whereas men बहुत शांति से वो बोल देंगे नहीं, and then somehow everybody else sort of realigns themselves around them. And I've seen this happen a lot of times. So do you agree with this?
It's again very person to person basis.
So not men versus women, but let's say people who are
versus
able
people.
to say
Others
will align. People who are not saying, they might end up fighting eventually.
Align or not align, you don't have a choice. If I say I'm not cooking, what will you do? What will you do? I'm saying I'm not cooking, and 1 day, 2 day, 3 day, 4 day, you will either figure out a cook who can come home and cook, or you will start cooking yourself, or you will figure out a tiffin system. You will figure out something, right? But the whole issue is, if I say I don't like to cook, they still go to kitchen and start cooking. Then I am responsible for they treating me as कि adjust कर लेगी, क्योंकि मैं कर रही हूँ
adjust.
वो मेरी problem है ना। अगर मैं my brain functions better at night, so when everybody sleeps and it's silence, and then I write better, I read better, and I can think better, I can't get up at 6 in the morning.
Yes.
And then if I communicate that okay, I am not an early riser and I can't get up in the morning. Now, not taking the guilt कि oh I did not get up, मेरी सासू माँ उठ गई, घर में सब उठ गए, सबने चाय पी लिया, बहू होने के नाते मुझे सुबह। So there's a lot of paradigm which we have grown up in. हमने यही देखा है ना,
करेक्ट,
कि घर की बहू को सबसे पहले उठना चाहिए, एंड वो देर से भी उठती हैं तो दे हैव एन इनबिल्ट प्रेशर, लाइक दे कीप जस्टिफाइंग देमसेल्व्स।
करेक्ट,
कल मैं थक गई थी, मैं सोई नहीं इसलिए मैं देर से उठी, ऑटोमेटिक कोई पूछे ना पूछे हम एक्सप्लेनेशन दे रहे हैं। सो फर्स्ट स्टेप इज दैट वी वुमेन आर रिस्पॉन्सिबल मेनी टाइम्स फॉर द ट्रीटमेंट दैट्स कमिंग आवर वे। मैं किसी और से क्या एक्सपेक्ट करूं कि तुम मेरा ध्यान क्यों नहीं रख रही, मैं अपना ध्यान रख रही हूँ क्या? अगर मुझे कोई चीज़ नहीं पसंद है तो नहीं पसंद है। नाउ आपको इंडिपेंडेंट वर्किंग वुमेन चाहिए तो आपको ये समझना पड़ेगा ना कि उसके साथ और क्या लाइफस्टाइल चेंजेस आ रहे हैं। आपकी मम्मी जो हाउसवाइफ थी उसकी तरह आपकी बीवी आपका ध्यान, आपके घर का ध्यान नहीं रख सकती है। देन इट कम्स विद अ पार्टनरशिप ना। कैसे होगा? मतलब इफ समबडी हैव टू गो टू ऑफिस एट द सेम टाइम एज यू गो, अगर ऑफिस नहीं भी जा रही है, वर्क फ्रॉम होम कर रही, फिर भी काम कर रही है ना, So if both of you are working at the same times and both of you come back in the evening tired at the same time, then you both would like to eat, spend some time, watch some TV, go for some walk and sleep. Why it's a woman, then she has to come home and cook dinner first.
Also entertain.
Entertain. Yeah, make sure ki you have to talk to mother-in-law, you have to talk to father-in-law, you have to spend some time with the family,
Yeah.
all of that. So it's high time men need to start understanding that, and it's high time women have to really put a very strong foot forward.
Interesting.
Ki that this is what I'm willing, this is what I'm not willing. And what you're not willing, don't do it. You know, most of the time we get into that people pleasing mode.
हाँ.
कि अच्छा एक बार कर देते हैं, वो एक बार करना आपके लिए मुश्किल हो जाएगा. जो
Interesting.
नहीं कर सकते वो मत करो.
ये एक्चुअली बहुत ही सॉलिड एडवाइस है बिकॉज द पैराडाइम शिफ्ट दैट वी ऑल वांट एज वुमेन will not happen if we are not willing to shift our own
Yes.
ways of treating our own self.
Yes.
If we are not willing to, like, वो प्रिंस चार्मिंग आके रेस्क्यू करे, वो थॉट अभी भी है कहीं ना कहीं हमारे माइंड्स में, राइट? बिकॉज वी आर एक्सपेक्टिंग दैट आउट ऑफ आवर हस्बैंड्स and not willing to become the person who's displeasing others, but we want the paradigm shift to happen still for
Yeah,
us.
yeah. But it is challenging for women too.
It is,
क्योंकि हमने
absolutely.
एग्जाम्पल देखा ही नहीं है. जो भी बहू आज तक बोलती है कि मुझे खाना नहीं बनाना या मुझे अपने करियर पे फोकस करना है और बच्चे होने के बाद भी मुझे अब्रॉड जाना है, वी हैव ऑलवेज सीन उनको इतना क्रिटिसाइज किया
Villainize कर
जाता है.
देते हैं ना उनको.
And it's so common. And then they say women who are career oriented cannot be family people. They are not relationship oriented. They are not great mothers. Like it's just, I'm not saying they are not. But ये conversations हमारे आसपास बचपन से हम सुनते आए हैं ना.
And we don't want those labels on ourselves,
Yes.
right?
And it's so deep rooted in our subconscious mind कि ये समझना कई बार मुश्किल होता है कि ये subconscious से आ रहा है. It's just we don't know कि हम बोलते हैं कि नहीं करना है, but the next moment there's a second thought ना, अरे यार कर देते तो क्या हो जाता,
But
like that.
practically possible है क्या? Like, let's say I want a good relationship with everybody. Like, I want a good relationship with my in-laws. I want a good relationship with my husband. I want to have children, but I am also career oriented. Is it practically possible to juggle both?
यही पैराडाइम शिफ्ट की तो बात कर रहे हैं ना. Why do you want good relationship with everybody on earth?
Okay.
You need to have a great relationship with yourself first. Are you happy? Are you fulfilled? Are you satisfied? Are you well rested? In the name of superwoman, you are just running around. Don't. Are you well rested? Are you really feeling peaceful when you get up in the morning? Then you look at your husband first. Are you having time to connect with him? Do you have time for intimacy? Do you have time for romance? Do you have time for conversations? Now, beyond this, it is as and when you time permits.
Okay.
Now, we enter, मुझे सबको खुश रखना है, तो then you have to become a doormat. Choice is yours.
Interesting.
And if you see for ages, that good bahu are the one who have sacrificed the most.
Yes.
Because everybody liked them because they listen to everybody. They keep doing
I
whatever
really doubt
everybody
that
say.
everybody liked them, to be
No,
honest.
no. I mean, like,
हाँ.
they are called good bahu. A lot of people in the family will appreciate them because they keep listening to most of them.
Yes.
They keep doing as per everybody. So, उनके साथ क्या हो रहा है, उनको उनकी
कैसा
तबीयत को
फील
क्या
हो रहा है,
है.
तबीयत को क्या हो रहा है.
So
Very
nobody
interesting.
else is bothered. So if you want to be that, choice is yours. I am nobody to tell you what you should be. But make your choice. But if you want to please everybody, then you got to let go of yourself.
So you're saying that, okay, so let's say when people come to you, maybe a couple, because now I'm saying कि I want to shift the way I had been operating and I would put myself first, but that's bound to create rift and riffles everywhere. Forget everybody else, but let's take me and my husband, or a husband comes to you, so him and his wife. What should they be doing, or how should they realign with each other in this case? Because I have made that mindset shift that now I want to prioritize my own health and my own happiness. How do I align my husband? Because I don't want the relationship to break.
Yeah,
so
of course.
where does the sort of union come? So where would both of them come on the same page? So how do you navigate
So
this?
it's again, it's a journey. It's not going to happen in one day. Because the old paradigm of living in as a couple has worked for men. It's not worked for women. Because it demands a lot more from women. than men. And when women are also working like men, it becomes difficult to fulfill the old paradigm. So first, to start with, having a conversation, that I had an epiphany and I realized I'm not happy. I'm not happy that subah se juggling, then I juggle at work also, then I come back again, juggle at home. And by the time I sleep, I really am not happy. I'm really feeling way too exhausted. I don't feel love towards you. I don't feel romance. I don't feel like having intimacy. And 100% your intimacy will get affected. So then the other person will start considering. First, start sharing your pain, sharing what's not working for you. And then having a conversation, can we make some changes? How can we make mornings more peaceful, where we both don't have to juggle? It's not that it's not possible. Solutions are there. But if both of you are willing, then things can work out, no? So just कि कुछ कर सकते हैं, बात कर सकते हैं.
So when you were talking about, if you don't want to cook, you really have to stop cooking. Like you
Yeah.
can't be saying that I don't want to do this and still be doing that. It sort of resonated with me. I see a lot of times people not being able to take those kind of decisions because of also having a kid in the in the whole picture. So let's say a mom will not be wanting to cook but has to cook because she has a child to feed. So what would you recommend in those kind of situations where there's a, let's say, a small baby involved?
See, even if you don't want to cook, then you will eat, right? How will you eat? You will get home somebody to cook food for both of you. The same person can be guided to cook the kids' food too.
So you're saying that, hey, when I say I don't want to cook, I should also look for a solution for that.
Together.
Uh-huh.
When I'm communicating to my partner, ki say, listen, I can't cook. I'm really focused on my work, you're focused on my work. Next couple of years, we both want to grow. And cooking drains me out. So let's figure out what can we do. And then both of you together can figure out something, right? Like they'll say, okay, let's get a cook. Or maybe we can subscribe to some healthy eating, home deliveries. All those options are coming up big time. So solution is out there. It's provided we want to search. If we say ऐसा ही होता आ रहा है, ऐसे ही होगा, then there is no solution.
Interesting.
So initially putting your foot down, start saying I can't cook and I don't want to cook, and we are making a big deal about cooking, but I'm just saying anything. Like if for some people it could be puja. I don't want to. I believe in God, but I can't do puja daily. And if that becomes it could be a 15 minutes thing, but it's anything that I am forced to do.
I'm not
against my
aligned
wish.
with that for whatever reason.
Yes, and then put a foot down and just say that, ki, I'm not willing to do this. How can we resolve this together? I'm not, you versus me तो नहीं चल रहा है ना. We are in this together.
ये लोगों में समझ होती है रुचिता कि relationship is not you versus me. मेरे को often ऐसा feel होता है, मैंने जितना भी observe किया है with my friends, with a lot of people in fact, it often feels like you versus me, and it's not about men, women, both sides. They feel कि यार तुमने अगर वो नहीं किया जो मैंने बोला, मैंने प्यार से बोला तुम्हें, but तुमने फिर भी नहीं किया, which means that you don't love me, you don't respect me. I told you so many times, you still didn't do it. So it becomes about me, and I think that's where a lot of issues happen.
So that's what again goes back to what I said. When you don't fulfill yourself, then you start expecting other person to fulfill you. कि मुझे ये चाहिए, instead of looking at कि मुझे अगर ये चाहिए तो मैं ये कैसे कर सकती हूँ, I start looking at how can you give me that. So when I am unfulfilled, कि मुझे, if I'm hungry and I know you have food, my constant expectation is, I'm hungry, you're not giving me food. But if I'm full, you have the food, you give me or not, it will not matter to me. It's the same with every emotion and everything in life.
तो मतलब दोनों तरफ के ये जो एक्सपेक्टेशन बन गए कि ऐसा ही होता आ रहा है, नॉट जस्ट विथ रिस्पेक्ट टू प्रोवाइडिंग. अभी रिसेंट एक्सपेक्टेशंस ये हैं कि अब मेरा हस्बैंड है तो उसको ये करना ही चाहिए बिकॉज ही इज़ अ हस्बैंड, एंड आई एम स्टिल, आई मीन फॉरगेट फिनेंसेस बिकॉज अभी तो दोनों जने काम कर रहे हैं, कमा रहे हैं, बट this is still part of my husband's duty. So that definition of duty is still very rigid. We have not moved there where it has still become very fluid, you think?
It is changing. It is changing. There are couples who are speaking. There are couples who are coming to counseling to mediate that kind of conversation. It is changing. You will have to take that step if you want to. And if you are expecting equality, give equality for sure.
Hmm.
You cannot say that a man should pay all the bills, but I will not do the household work. No, it doesn't work that way. If I am saying, ki, let's do the household work together, then let's split the bills together.
Hmm.
So it has to come both ways. But
Interesting.
most of the time, expectation comes because I'm not fulfilled by myself.
Hmm.
If I am fulfilled by myself, then expectation automatically comes down. Like I want to go for a movie and I feel that you should come with me for a movie. And if you don't come, then I also don't go for a movie. Then I am feeling frustrated, no? मुझे मूवी जाना है, तुम्हारी वजह से मैं नहीं गई. तुम्हारी वजह से कैसे नहीं गई? तुमको नहीं जाना है, मुझे जाना है. Just two different people have two different mood at the same evening. If I still go and watch the movie, I am full, right? Then I will never come back and complain.
Hmm.
And if let's say you say कि no यार आज मेरा बस घर पे रह के थोड़ा चिल करने का मूड है, then I can ask no कि मेरा बहुत मूवी देखने का मन है. Is it okay if I go for a movie with my friends? Maybe there are times it will come as a shock. We are couple, no? Either we should go together, we shouldn't go together. But that kind of life, it just creates a lot of pressure on each other. मेरी हर एक्सपेक्टेशन तुमसे ही पूरी होगी, सो नहीं हो सकता है ना.
So true sense में independent mindset होना बहुत जरूरी है.
Yes, 100%. And you have to ongoingly create it, not expect it.
Hmm.
So
Wow.
keep creating it.
Wow. I think like I'm having these kind of epiphany moments while speaking to you because it answers a lot of things for me. It is answering a lot of things for what I'm seeing around me because I really think that this is going to help people. So Cheta, I'm very intrigued to know you must be getting so many cases.
Yes.
What are some of the most common challenges that you see couples facing in of today's era couples?
Right. So the topmost one is the infidelity. Second is in-laws issues. Third is the financial challenges between the couples, the money fights, and then the chores and kids upbringing, and then intimacy issues. Intimacy issues includes porn addiction, infidelity. Yeah, I mean, these
Interesting.
are very top peak issues that we can say 90% of the couples are facing one of them.
Okay, let's talk about some of these. So, very recently, there's a report, First Post also spoke about it, that workplace affairs have increased tremendously. And of all the affairs that people are having, like people who cheat on their partners, the tendency to cheat with a workplace colleague is very, very high. And that's been surveyed, and there has been report, and a lot of conversation is happening on the social media around this. So do you see that in your cases, whatever you've seen, so is that true? Is that statistics matching?
It is workplace romances also. Also, people are cheating with friend spouses
Wow, what?
because most of the time they're hanging out together, so it
Huh.
gets very easily accessible.
Okay, I'm shocked.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, let's talk a
And it's
little
very
bit more about
heartbreaking to
this.
see
It's very
that.
heartbreaking,
Yeah.
right? How do then basically there are two people who are getting cheated on.
Yes.
How do people find out about this, and who usually comes to you? So is it the person who's cheating, or they come for relationship counseling together? What do you see most
Most
often?
of the time, it is the cheated partner who comes to us for help. In lesser percentage, the cheating partner also comes.
Okay, and how do you ask them to navigate these kind of situations then?
So for me, it is very simple. If the cheated partner comes, it's like you need to see, is he or she saying sorry because they get caught, or they are saying sorry because they are repenting their action. Now, most of the time, if they are repenting their action, they will come and tell you before you find out. And if you find out after that they are saying sorry, and they are saying so much sorry that you tend to believe that they're genuinely sorry, I say that give time.
Before forgiving them.
Before you take a call, forgive or not forgive, you please give time. If they are genuinely sorry, they have to make consistent effort over a long period of time to win you back. And if they don't do that, then don't get back. Because the tendency of cheating will always be there. Why? Because when you cheat, it's a different kind of excitement to it. When you hide something and do something, and then you have tasted one's infidelity, it becomes very exciting experience for people. And whenever they are bored in life, they tend to go towards that.
Do you feel that boredom is one of the major causes why people do this, or is it innate that they cheat?
It's just poor boundaries because where is the time to get bored today?
Right.
People are not finding time to spend time with their partner. People are not finding time to get intimate with their partner. People are not finding time to spend time with their kids.
But they find time to
To
spend with
cheat,
to
yeah,
cheat.
yeah. So it's a lame excuse. I think there is no excuse in the world that can justify infidelity, and anybody saying anything, I cannot buy that.
Yeah,
It's
I
a
mean, so
clear
much
case of
conversation happening that you don't get the validation at home, so you are finding that validation at your workplace colleague, and hence you cheat and stuff like that. And I just can't seem to buy it. Like, it's
so
so
if you're
weird.
not getting validated at home, either sit and resolve it or take divorce and then go find a new partner. But staying in the marriage and still finding another partner,
Just convenience.
it's convenience, yeah.
Interesting. The second case that sort of struck from what you mentioned and which we haven't spoken so far is intimacy and specifically porn addiction. So, is porn addiction very common?
Oh, huge, huge. And more of internet era.
Hmm.
So men, a lot of men especially, they start watching porn at a very early age.
Right.
And many of the men, I would say many, because I meet a lot of great men too, who are working towards a relationship. So they understand that it's a teenage thing and then slowly they reduce that and
What
eventually.
age do people with this kind of problem come to you? Because I'm assuming like porn watching starts at, let's say, college, and that's been a common thing for everybody. But by the time you are in your 20s, it should ideally just stop, very organically.
No, it doesn't. There is
Okay.
no organic stopping. It's like an addiction. It's
Hmm.
something which is giving you high. And if you like that high, why would you leave that?
Hmm.
You just enjoy that high, na? And as long as you're single, you will keep getting that high. And you don't realize when you get addicted to it. And
How does that affect relationships?
hugely, because I have met even men who says that they have been into porn for so long that they only get excited looking at the screen.
Okay.
When they are with an actual woman, they are not able to get excited.
Okay. And that causes a lot of problems, of course.
So then they can't have sex, no? And then the couples, then they are also doing that. They are watching together and getting intimate, and it just gets into a very nasty loop. Instead of, if when you realize there's something like this happening, please consult a therapist and they can help you.
Probably like a rehab is needed in this case. Some
Not
sort
really
of a.
rehab. There are certain lifestyle changes over a period of time. First is that accepting there is a problem. Then there is definitely a solution. It's not a deal breaker, especially when you have a partner who is cooperative enough.
To
It just gets,
understand that
yes, it
it's
gets very
it's an
easier.
addiction like any other addiction.
Any other addiction. But before it gets to the addiction phase, it could be a habit. So even to realize, is it an addiction, is it a habit, or is it just a convenience, or it's just that I now want to have sex with my partner, but my mind is so used to getting excited to screen that I'm not able to do this, then it's a problem. It's not an intention issue. Then you can handle that.
Interesting. So, what are the other kind of intimacy issues that you've seen in people? How does intimacy affect relationships?
So first part, I'll first answer, is that see, when a man and a woman are not able to connect at an emotional level, l- majority of the time, women can't get themselves to have physical intimacy.
Okay.
Emotional intimacy is the base for women to have physical intimacy. When they feel seen, they feel heard, they feel somebody is really looking forward to speak to them, spend time with them, somebody is craving for them. All these things makes them get excited about having intimacy. And it is obvious that women have lesser frequency than men. Again, it's just there will be a variation of percentage for sure, but a majority of women will have lesser
Urges.
urges as compared to men. And that's one. Second is also intimacy issue because of people have become too ambitious, working too hard. There's a lot of stress factor that's working. people are exhausted. Women are exhausted because they're working at home and in office. So the last thing in their mind is intimacy at the end of the day. So I think all these things you have to understand that whatever we have been talking about, the gender equality and the relationship, how they, all those things, if they start getting handled, you will have a great intimacy for sure. And to answer your second part is like how important is intimacy? 100%. It's a deal breaker.
It's a deal breaker.
Yes, like couples who are not having sex, be sure that today or tomorrow one of you will cheat. If your partner is
Because
not,
a core physiological need,
yes,
human need.
yes, and it's not just about the intercourse. It's also about you want to be held, you want to be hugged, and it's a men and women both. You know that you need to feel that somebody cares, and especially for men, if you see when they are kids, their parents used to hug them, but as and when they grow older, they stop getting any kind of hug except their woman. So these are all just very normal, healthy, emotional, physical needs human beings have, and it should be catered with your partner. This is only thing that you cannot get anywhere else.
And again, one thing, probably something that they should be speaking about more often, right? If it's not happening, if they're not getting what they feel that they need, uh, do you think that communication can actually help in these cases?
Of course, yeah, communication can help in anything and everything. And also, it's just the culture India comes from. Women talking about their desire is still considered as a
With their own
taboo.
partner also, it's considered as a taboo?
Yeah, I mean, like women are not used to see whenever you see a woman is talking about their desire, it is considered as characterless woman. And when you grow up in that environment, you cannot suddenly switch your brain and say that, oh, with my partner I can be sexy. No, you can't. You know, because you're told like, oh, you are a character woman, you are a good bahu, you're a good daughter. Oh, these are the last things. You should do puja, you should take care of the house, you should have discipline, you should eat food and, you know, do seva of elders. But sexual desires is not for you, it's for men. And so when men take initiative and appreciate women in terms of when they try to open up, that's going to give little that pattern changing in women's mind that, okay, when I talk about my desire, my mind is open. He is not considering I am a cheap woman, and he is appreciating that. He's acknowledging that. That is going to help them open up. Also, when you say what I'm expecting, I'm not getting, it's a big gray area because men watching too much porn, what they expect is weird. And those weird expectations are not to be fulfilled.
Interesting. So people do come to you like couples and they
Yes.
say that, you know, I
Yes.
expected this and it's not happening, therefore I'm not satisfied.
Yeah.
How do you then coach them out of it? Like, do you like really put your foot down and say, okay, this is actually something not to be expected?
No, it's just coaching is never about I telling you what is right or wrong. It's like in the conversation, you getting to that point
Understanding
that
on
this
your
is
own.
something I'm probably asking more. And you know, most of the people who are too much into porn, they don't understand. They see that, okay, it's just a temporary high. I'm just having excitement, and how is that harmful to anybody? But you need to understand, most of the porn is showing skewed relationship. You know, they will show Devar Bhabhi relationship, they will show teacher-student relationship. Now, when you are showing all those relationships which has lihaz, you know, in real terms, we have a lihaz. Now, you are watching a movie which is breaking those lihaz, and they are showing it in a very spicy manner that's very exciting to have such a. You will not realize, like a slow poison, it starts damaging your brain. It starts impacting your thought process. And over a period of time, for you, it will be okay to have a Devar Bhabhi relationship. And that's where you will probably look at your friend's wife
In a different way.
way rather than just looking at, she's my bhabhi, is like bhabhi ma kinds. That's just going off.
So it's a huge problem that you're seeing in adult relationships, which
Yes.
something which then they probably, you know, took up as a because every other kid was watching it, so I watched it for the first time. That's how it starts with everyone. and then it becomes a huge problem in their adult
adult
relationships.
relationship. And then I will not say all are doing that.
Huh.
There are men who are mature enough, they understand कि अरे ये बचपन में करते थे यार, अब बड़े हो गए हैं. You know, it's high time, we need to focus on career, we want to focus on fitness. And there are a lot of men, good men out there, they don't watch porn anymore. They all have watched it at some age.
Some point, yeah.
Yeah, but then they realize कि it's like you're like any other thing, you
It's
grow
like
out
a
of it.
phase.
Yeah,
It's you're out
yeah.
of it. Interesting.
But there are people who get addicted to it. और they just take it casually कि अच्छा क्या फर्क पड़ रहा है किसी और को. But तुमको फर्क पड़ रहा है ना.
One of the things that you spoke that, you know, with communication, you know, the resolution start with communication. Often I have heard a lot of my friends say this, that hey, I did express very explicitly that I'm not liking it. It as in could be anything. I'm not liking it. I have said it so many times, but the other person is not listening with the same intent. Like you said at some point that, you know, the other person is taking you too casually कि अरे ठीक है adjust हो जाएगी, आज grip करिए कल adjust हो जाएगी. Why again I'm saying from a women's perspective, because I hear these stories more from my peers. Maybe men also face this because they also could have partners, wives,
Yes.
who are not taking them too seriously when they're expressing their concerns, when they're expressing their boundaries. So is there a problem of listening? Do you feel that India, specifically India, has a problem of not listening?
I will say it's my problem.
Okay.
If I'm at the listening end, then it's my problem. If I'm at the speaking end, it's my problem. So, not blaming the other person कि he or she is not listening. Maybe I am not able to say in a way that they can listen.
But then that
And-
way often ends up being yelling and shouting, right?
Yeah, so first is when you face the problem first time, please speak up then. Because if you don't, then over a period of time, when it gets accumulated, you will become a volcano and you will not speak, you will only yell and shout. Second, when you communicate, most of the time, as you say, women say that men are not listening. Women have a habit of complaining, cribbing, and blaming.
And crying.
And crying, yeah. And men don't do well with two things, one blame and one emotional overdump.
Okay.
So if you want to talk to a man, get your emotions in check first. रोना है, रो लो best friend के पास. First, get your emotions stabilized and then think, how do I communicate this in a way that it is not blaming him? Most of the time, we don't know how to communicate that. उसने ही किया है ना, तो मुझे बोलना पड़ेगा ना कि तुमने किया है. बिना blame किए कैसे?
सही बात है.
So it's like कि see, अगर आपके पार्टनर हैं, आप उनके इंटेंशन पे डाउट कर रहे हैं, तो उनके साथ क्यों हो? तो इंटेंशन पे डाउट मत करो. तुमने जानबूझ के मुझे हर्ट किया, तुमने जानबूझ के मेरी बात नहीं सुनी, तुमने जानबूझ के मुझे सबके सामने मेरा मजाक बनाया, तुमने जानबूझ के मम्मी के सामने मेरे लिए स्टैंड नहीं लिया. हर चीज तुमने जानबूझ के की. मे बी उसको स्ट्राइक नहीं किया. Maybe he was also feeling
Cornered or whatever.
cornered, or maybe he is feeling sandwiched कि मैं क्या करूँ, वही मम्मी का साथ दूँ, इसका साथ दूँ. तो अगर आप उसको ब्लेम कर रहे हो, किसी को भी ब्लेम कर रहे हो, इट्स irrespective of male and female, सामने वाला क्या करेगा? डिफेंड ना. तो अगर आप यही चाहते हो तो ब्लेम करो, सामने वाला डिफेंड करेगा, आप ब्लेम करो, पर प्रॉब्लम कभी सॉल्व नहीं होगी. पर अगर आप रिजोल्यूशन चाहते हो तो पहले बैठ के ये समझो कि सामने वाले ने इंटेंशनली नहीं किया. पहले खुद समझो. क्योंकि ये एक्सेप्ट करना बहुत मुश्किल होता है कि सामने वाला जानबूझ के नहीं कर रहा है. यार आपका एक बेसिक नेचर है, मेरा एक बेसिक नेचर है, और मे बी मैं अपनी बेसिक नेचर जो कर रही हूँ वो आपके साथ मैच नहीं हो रहा है. एंड इट्स ओके. पहले ये समझो कि मैं जानबूझ के आपको हर्ट नहीं कर रही हूँ, क्योंकि यू आर माई पार्टनर. मुझे क्या मिलेगा आपको हर्ट करके? मैं जानबूझ के आपको हर्ट, मुझे आपके साथ ही रहना है ना. मैं शाम को लौट के आपके पास ही आने वाली हूँ, साथ में खाना खाएंगे. तो मैं अगर आपसे ही झगड़ा कर रही हूँ, जबरदस्ती आपको हर्ट कर रही हूँ, मुझे क्या फायदा होने वाला है? सो फर्स्ट गेट दिस सॉर्टेड. व्हेन इट लुक्स ऑब्वियस ऑल्सो कि उसने जानबूझ के किया, कीप दैट थॉट आउट ऑफ योर हाउस कि जानबूझ के हर्ट कर रहा है. देन यू कैन स्टार्ट द कॉन्वर्सेशन कि व्हाट हैपेंड, इट रियली हर्ट मी. I'm not saying you hurt me.
You hurt me.
I'm not saying you intentionally did this. I'm just saying what happened in the morning, it really hurt me. And I just thought of sharing with you what hurt me. Maybe you did not get it, that it could hurt me. हो सकता है ना सामने वाले को समझ ही नहीं आया कि ये मुझे हर्ट कर सकता है. तो मैं पहले आपको बताऊं तो कि मुझे एक्चुअली क्या हर्ट कर रहा है. Because your communication will make the man listen to you. Men listen 100% of the time. Depends on आप कैसे बात कर रहे हैं. आप चढ़ के बोलेंगे, बंदा रिएक्ट करेगा. आप उसको ब्लेम करेंगे, वो अपने आप को डिफेंड करेगा. और उसको बोलेंगे यू आर अ ममाज बॉय, तो फिर आपने लेबल कर दिया ना, तो बोलेगा हाँ मैं मम्मी पापा की इज्जत करता हूँ, कर लो तुम्हें जो करना है. तो देन यू आर क्रिएटिंग टू पार्टीज. सो पहले अपने आप को वहाँ पे लेके आई, इंटेंशन में कोई प्रॉब्लम नहीं है. सेकेंड इज यू से दिस, इट इज हर्टिंग मी instead of you hurting me. And then third, saying that I know you love me. You got to say this for yourself and for the other person. I know you love me and intentionally you will never hurt me. So how can we deal with this together?
And because men love to provide solution, probably they will provide the
No,
solution.
not really. It's like कि हर वक्त हर चीज का solution नहीं होता है.
हाँ.
जैसे कि
The solution here could be कि next time when they are in that situation, they know that this is going to hurt my woman.
हर वक्त याद नहीं रहता है.
फिर ये conversation
जैसे कि we are a woman, okay? आप गाड़ी में बैठते हैं, you drive?
Yeah.
जब गाड़ी में बैठते हैं, आपको गाड़ी में बैठते हैं, गाड़ी ऑन करते पता चलता है मशीनरी में कहाँ प्रॉब्लम है?
नहीं.
बट एक बंदे को हर बार समझ में आता है. Somehow men have this. When they start the car, तुम्हें समझ में नहीं आया गाड़ी में कुछ अजीब आवाज आ रही है, कहाँ से? I will not know and it's not intentional. आप मुझे अभी बताएंगे ना कि देखो जब गाड़ी नॉर्मल होती है, it creates ऐसा साउंड. जब गाड़ी में प्रॉब्लम होती है साउंड, मैं अगली बार मुझे फिर भी पता है मुझे नहीं सुनाई दे रहा है. जब गाड़ी ब्रेक डाउन हो जाएगी मैं फोन लगाऊंगी, गाड़ी का ब्रेक डाउन हो गया, नाउ आई एम कॉलिंग 24/7 सर्विस एंड आई विल गेट इट डन. ओके, सो इट इज नॉट इंटेंशनल. सेम वे, जैसे ये आपने बहुत अच्छे से रिलेट किया बिकॉज वी आर बोथ आर फीमेल.
Yes.
वी कैन. सेम वे मेनी टाइम्स मेन डोंट गेट दोज इमोशंस
Okay.
व्हाट वुमेन गेट. सो आज पता है उसको हर बार पता होगा, ये भी एक्सपेक्ट मत करो.
तो फिर क्या करो?
बात करो. क्रिएट सिस्टम्स. जैसे कि कई बार ऐसा होता है कि जैसे पेरेंट्स हैं, पेरेंट्स आर 60 years old, 50+ years old when you get married. पेरेंट्स नहीं सुनते हैं.
उनको तो चेंज करना बहुत मुश्किल
नहीं,
है.
वो सुनते ही नहीं है. उनको लगता है हमें पता है, तुमसे ज्यादा हमें शादी के बारे में पता है.
करेक्ट.
तो अगर आपके हस्बैंड जाके बोल भी रहे मम्मी से, मम्मी ऐसे मत बोला करो, उसको बुरा लगता है. वो सुनेंगी नहीं सुनेंगी, आपके कंट्रोल में नहीं है. जो आप दोनों के कंट्रोल में, उस पे तो सिंक में रहो ना. कि अगर मेरी मम्मी के बोलने से, एंड इट कुड बी अ मेल्स मदर और फीमेल्स मदर, मेरी मम्मी के बोलने से आपको हर्ट हो रहा है, तो जब आप मेरी मम्मी के बारे में कंप्लेन करेंगे, एटलीस्ट आई विल कीप माई हार्ट ओपन कि यार तुम शेयर तो कर सको. एटलीस्ट आई कैन प्रोवाइड यू द स्पेस टू क्रिब कि मुझे बुरा लगा.
एक्चुअली वहां पे आधे रेजोल्यूशंस हो जाते हैं ना. मतलब वुमन फील्स वैलिडेटेड एंड हर्ड अगर उनका पार्टनर, स्पेशली अगर इन लॉज का केस है, किसी का भी केस है, अगर वो सुन ले विदाउट पासिंग अ जजमेंट, without invalidating the feeling or without gaslighting the feeling of the woman, I think वहीं पर woman gets calm, उनका emotional resolution हो जाता है.
Both men and women. मतलब कि
yeah, maybe both men and women. Yeah.
Listening to me when I am suffering, I feel hurt. So that's one. Second is again looking at कि आप जाके उस इंसान को चेंज कर दो, मम्मी को चेंज कर दो, पापा, उसके हाथ में नहीं है. You can have a conversation कि let's talk. We can have a conversation with parents, but they agree, they listen, they don't listen. That's not in your control, neither in your partner's control. But what you can do is both of you can decide कि अच्छा next time ना situation होगा तो हम कम जाएंगे उनसे मिलने, या हमें कहीं घूमने जाना है तो we'll keep it between us because every time we make a vacation plan they cancel it. Something like that I'm saying. So what is in both of your control, do that. Why you want to change parents? पेरेंट्स को समझाओ, इसको समझाओ. अरे समझा के देख लिया, वो नहीं सुनने वाले, फिर क्या करे? एंड इफ यू कीप कंप्लेनिंग कि तुम्हारी मम्मी ऐसा बोलती है, तुम्हारी मम्मी ऐसा बोलती है, वो घर आना छोड़ देगा.
सही बात.
क्योंकि वो क्या करे कि वो अपनी मम्मी को बोल रहा है, मम्मी नहीं सुन रही है, बीवी कंटिन्यूसली कंप्लेन कर रही है, हस्बैंड कहाँ जाए? अगर उसके हाथ में होगा तो शायद वो मम्मी को समझा रहा है. हाँ, कई बार ऐसा भी होता है कि बंदे बोलते ही नहीं.
Very often I've seen that also.
उस केस में definitely, but women have to start from not complaining, getting into your conversation needs to alter where you put the man into your team.
Or you have finally that conversation कि आप अगर नहीं बात कर सकते तो Then I
मैं
will
बात
speak for
करूंगी.
myself.
And also if you feel कि बिल्कुल ही दोनों डिफरेंट वर्ल्ड में हैं, मतलब बंदी को लग रहा है या एक पार्टनर को लग रहा है प्रॉब्लम है, दूसरे को लग रहा है प्रॉब्लम ही नहीं है, देन प्रॉब्ली यू कैन सीक थेरेपी. क्योंकि एक थर्ड पर्सन, वी आर एक्सपर्ट इन एक्सप्लेनिंग इट इन अ वे कि सामने वाले को समझ में आता है कि यू कैन एटलीस्ट मेक देम सी कि देयर इज एन इशू. एटलीस्ट पहले इशू तो समझो ना. कुछ लोगों को लगता है इसमें क्या इशू था, मम्मी ने बोला कोई बात नहीं,
या बोला ही तो.
बोला ही तो ना. हाँ,
राइट.
तो इशू को पहले एक्सेप्टेंस आएगा, फिर तो सॉल्व करेंगे ना.
Do you see more women coming to you or more men coming to you, या फिर equal ratio होता है, especially individuals who are seeking help with their relationships?
Equal ratio है people who reach out to us, but when men reach out to me, their wives are generally coming along.
Okay.
But when women reach out to us, many times men are very rigid that I don't need any counseling. So, in a way, men are not so open to counseling. That is there. But the world is changing. A lot of, I mean, I will say I meet a lot of good men, so who are fighting for their relationship. They are really putting their heart and soul in fixing their relationships and marriages. So hats off to them. But we hear a lot of women, they face this challenge that my husband is not agreeing for counseling.
When men come to you, let's say along with their wives or alone, that time what have you seen as the most common challenge that they're facing?
See, for me, as I said, that one is infidelity.
Men would come directly?
Yeah.
If acha.
Their partners have cheated on them.
Okay, that's one of the major causes. Okay.
And infidelity is irrespective of gender. Okay, and then second is sexual challenges, intimacy related issues.
So again, issues are more or less common.
Men and women both. In-laws issues, mainly women. And
financials?
Financial issues is a part of the game. They don't realize that it's an issue. It's only when we have a conversation, people do fight about money and they don't realize that. So it's a thing that you have to speak. Household chores and raising kids, most of the time women. Because of the culture that most of my clients are Indians across the globe. So Indian culture, women have more load of taking care of house, taking care of food, taking care of kids. It's always there.
One of the podcasts that I had on relationship earlier, it was about narcissistic abuse. A lot of comments where men were flooding these comment boxes were, again, a perspective to probably think about is that, if I am the sole provider and my wife has married me because I am providing, and then you are raising such issues, right? So I'm just trying to understand a scenario where a wife does not earn, a man is the sole provider of the house. What are the challenges then? And of course, the wife is dependent on the man for any of her requirements, right? So would you like to address something around those things?
See, it is like a couple have to come to a balance. If the man is whole soul earning and he has to make sure you and the 2 kids and everything is taken care of financially, you will do something, right? You will contribute to the relationship. So then you decide to take care of the house. But when you have kids, it's a third job. So one job is going out and earning money. One job is taking care of house, food and everything, how the house runs. When you have a kid, it's a third job.
No, often people say कि house में तो फिर भी maids है ना, like maid है, cook है, तो तुम क्या करती हो? That's a very common line that people say.
You give them 1 month to handle the house, they will know. कि maid and cook is just a part of it.
नहीं, ऐसे आते हैं क्या? मैं वो जानने की कोशिश करती हूँ.
Yes. There are issues that is around, but then that's what I'm talking about. कि money issues, people don't speak up. Just say if a man is expecting his woman to contribute, they don't speak.
Okay.
Because maybe it's an ego issue, or maybe it's again the paradigm that men are supposed to provide. So when men feel burdened about the providing, they don't speak up easily. So it's a part of the resolution of the whole marriage, we know that we need to ensure that intimacy is great, we need to ensure money issues are resolved, we need to ensure communication is resolved, we need to ensure men understand romance. We need to ensure that they share responsibilities. These are basic pillars of a marriage that we work on. So if they come with one also, we do check everything else to see there are underlying issues that they also don't know.
You brought up another Pandora box, which is romance.
Yeah.
So the concept of romance for men and women seem to be entirely different. At least there's often complaint from women's end that, my partner is not romantic. Somehow men do not get the concept of romance is the narrative. So one, why is that so? And what can men and women do to sort of come at the same level?
Um, I guess it's just communication. First is that willing hearts. Like, are they willing? I mean,
नहीं, बट मुझे तो कॉन्सेप्ट मुझे समझ ही में नहीं आ रहा ना.
नहीं,
आपने
बात
मेरे को बोला
समझने की बाद में आती है. पहले ये कि मैं अगर विलिंग नहीं हूँ,
हाँ.
आप मुझसे कम्युनिकेट भी कर रहे हो, मैं आपकी बात को उड़ा दूंगी. क्या आप बच्चों की तरह हर वक्त रोमांस की बात करती हूँ?
एग्जैक्टली, या
तो अगर मैं विलिंग हूँ और मेरी पार्टनर आके या मेरा पार्टनर आके मुझसे बोल रहा है कि आई फील रोमांस इज मिसिंग, आई विल पुट माई लैपटॉप एंड फोन असाइड एंड लिसन. Okay, when you say romance is missing, what is romance according to you? I'll try to understand. And then both of you can communicate, like when you give me flowers sometimes, it makes me
Feel happy.
that it just brings a certain different feeling. And sometimes when you pamper me, it brings a different feeling. And it's not that when you say these things like this, what's the feeling associated with it? Like, I want to feel pampered. It's irrespective of men and women both. It's just that woman might feel pampered when you give her a flower or give her a favorite dress that she looked at that day and you noticed and you brought that, or you take her for a special dinner. But it's true for men too.
they
It's
may
just
feel
that-
pampered about something different.
Yes. So when you communicate, then they will realize, oh, this exists in my world too. It's just not with the same term as romance. But first it has to be willing. And I would say when you are a couple, if you're not willing to fulfill each other's needs, then your relationship will become very difficult over a period of time. It will become like living like roommates. And if you don't want it to become like roommates, then listen, no? And listening and also sharing. Like, ऐसा होता है तो मुझे बड़ा अच्छा लगता है. अच्छा, तो what do you like about it? So, okay, when I share and if you listen, I really like that. So then man will say, okay, that तो मेरे साथ भी होता है. So then, okay, let's set aside half an hour time every day. And I'm not saying lot, but just half an hour. जब हम सब कुछ छोड़ के एक दूसरे से बात करते हैं. And then that can be a starting of a great romantic relationship between the two. So romance is not always spending a lot of money, going to an exotic resort and then, no, it's just sipping a cup of coffee, just the two of you and having this kind of intimate conversation. That's romance. So understanding what's romance for your partner. And
But the underlying feeling of romance is always pampering or feeling important. तो वो feeling को पकड़ना ज़्यादा important
It's
है.
feeling for one.
Feeling for one as in?
Other person might say, when you support me in my ambition, I feel that's romantic.
Because that's you are telling me that I'm important for you.
No, it's just different people have different definition of romance.
Yeah, I'm saying the same thing. So I'm saying that the underlying feeling with anything romantic is either I want to feel pampered, which again goes back to saying that you
Not
care
necessary.
for me.
Not necessary.
No?
Not necessary. So pamperment is one feeling. Care is one feeling.
Pamper, care, feeling important also, like
Feeling
I am important in
Yes,
your life.
yes.
These are the underlying
So there
feelings.
are many. So like this, we are just talking three. There could be many. There could be many different things.
So understanding what your partner wants to feel is probably
Is
the
important.
starting
Yeah,
point.
and then also what makes them feel that. Don't do the guesswork. Ask them what needs to happen for you to feel that. Then it gets easier. We do a lot of guesswork. इसको पैम्पर करने के लिए कितना एफर्ट करना पड़ता है. Maybe आपको पता ही नहीं कि उसको किस चीज से पैम्परमेंट फील होता है. वो छोटी सी चीज करने से इतना एफर्ट नहीं है. कई बार पता नहीं है. Because couples are not talking.
Why do people not talk to each other?
I don't know.
I mean, everybody in the world is saying communicate, communicate. आप घर पे हो, office में हो, communication is the basis. But why are people so hesitant to talk to each
So
other?
I think people are talking. It's just that their languages are not matching. People have a lot of underlying self-esteem issues. So when they express something, and if you discard what I'm saying, then I feel invalidated. I feel extremely hurt when I'm not self-confident. But if I am very self-assured and self-confident, I share something and you say, no, I don't agree with you. And it will be like, okay, you don't agree with me. That's all.
Do you feel there's a communication issue in India? I feel so. Why I'm saying this is communication issue as in the art of communication. Because a lot of people, both men and women, do not know how to express themselves. Like they will just not find the words or they will not find the time, the right emotions to really truly express what they're feeling. And often it is not about the fear because they do want to express, but maybe it is they don't know how to.
But it's not an only Indian issue.
Acha.
Yeah, communication is an issue. It says, like, see, again, that underlying self-assured. I'm so self-assured that if I love to dress up like this and suddenly you say, ये क्या पहना है podcast के लिए? It is not going to impact me.
Mm.
And but if I say, okay, for me to feel good, you cannot make that comment, then I'm saying your freedom or my freedom. Then the relationship becomes very difficult now कि मुझे हर बात सोच के बोलना पड़ेगा. मैंने ये बोला तो उसको बुरा लग जाएगा, ये नहीं बोला. How the hell I'm going to know कि मुझे क्या बोलना चाहिए? मतलब give freedom to other person to say whatever they want to say and take it whatever you want to take it. But you don't want to take it. You say, okay, तुम्हें अच्छा नहीं लगा, मुझे आज blue पहनना था, मुझे आज yellow पहनना है. ठीक है.
So what I'm hearing, the three important things which I'm going to take away from the conversation so far is one, having the self-assuredness, having the confidence to say no when you do not want to do something.
It will come from
From
self-assuredness.
self-assuredness. Second is communication is the key of any kind of relationship, probably the starting point to any kind of resolution.
And communicating without blaming,
Without blaming,
without
yes.
taking blame, without raising your tone, without getting aggressive. Communication is not fighting.
And the third thing which I really loved was believing that the other person is on your side, like
Oh,
the
yes.
intention of the other person.
Yes.
That belief is very, very important. So
They
it's
are a
not
partner, you know, like
uh,
it's your partner. They are living with you. Why will they do anything against you?
yeah.
It's just that our ways are different, our genders are different. So that's what makes the whole difference.
So a lot of these issues also come from conditioning, right? Of how I have been
Yes.
conditioned since my
Yes.
childhood as a man, as a woman. Do you see that both of these people are willing to change their conditioning? What kind of conditioning changes have you often been able to successfully sort of bring about?
I'll not say that people are willing to change because men are not seeing the need to change.
Convenience again
Convenience,
comes
because
in.
it has not been inconvenient to them.
Correct.
Right? And women strongly feel the need to change because it has been very inconvenient for them. It's stressful, it's tiring, it's exhaustive experience to be a woman.
No, what I mean to ask is for the other person. So I know that my conditioning is impacting our relationship. First, realizing that it's not probably my personality is a derivation of my the way I've been brought
Upbringing,
up, my
yeah.
upbringing. So now that I've realized it, how do I still bring about that change? Because I really want our relationship to work, but then I don't know what to do. So what when they must be coming to you with such kind of problems
So
also.
this I tell to people who are seeking for partner also or in the relationship also. Work on yourself. Number one, work on stabilizing your emotions. Like you are in control of your emotions, not emotions are controlling you. When you can stabilize, like how do you stabilize? Like these are the things, start observing yourself. What are the things that trigger you? And when it triggers, how do you generally react? Some people shout, some people get angry, some people even throw things. So different ways of when you get triggered. And some people get very sarcastic. So catch hold of your triggers and start changing patterns. Like very consciously No, next time I'm triggered, I'm going to do something different. I put on my shoes and go for a run. And every time I'm triggered, I'm going to do that. And when I start doing that, it becomes a reflex action. That every time I'm triggered, instead of fighting back, shouting, getting angry, I put on my shoes and go for a run. 15 minutes later, my anger has calmed down, my mind is calmer. Because I have run, endorphins has released, so I'm feeling better, I can think better. And then handle it. So first is dealing with your emotions and really getting to a place where you have a self-regulation on emotion. Extremely important for women. Because by design, we have way more emotions.
Yes.
Between 20 to 30, women have like flood of emotions. They themselves are not able to handle it. Now we expect a man to handle it. Oh, please, it's too much. Second, financial independence. 100, I cannot emphasize more the way the world is going. Infidelity is attacking every relationship. Marriages are getting to divorce very easily. Lot of different kinds of challenges people are facing. So everybody financially has to be independent. If somebody is paying your bills, they're bound to tell you where you can spend, where you can't spend. If you want to live life on your own terms, please go and earn money. And you're capable of earning money wherever you are. And today with this internet era, there are so many opportunities.
Yes.
So many. And there's so many inspiring stories out there. Women are doing wonders. Men are doing wonders sitting at home. So it doesn't have to be that you have to go to college, you have to go out of the house and do something. You can do wonders wherever you are. Okay, so financial independence. Third is you must have a social circle of your own. Men and women both. Separate circle. Like women are very emotional beings. We have a certain kind of conversations, cribbing sessions. And when you have a strong group of girls who are always standing by you, nothing in the world can pull you down. My back is supported.
It almost feels like therapy. So yesterday I met a friend of mine, since I'm here. We met after a long time and we literally just said this to each other that, hey, this feels like therapy.
Yes.
Because you're just talking about yourself. That's a space where you get to talk about yourself without judgment.
Right.
And that sort of changes the way you're feeling about a lot of things. And she was saying that I really needed to, speak to somebody, and somebody means a friend, a girlfriend of mine. And coincidentally we met, and yeah, it's never ending. That conversations keep on going on, and it really feels very therapeutic.
And also, it's just that if every emotion a woman has and she wants her man to listen, the man is going to go crazy. Because woman emotions is all over the place because of the hormonal cycle that we have. So when we have girl pals, they understand our emotions. And also you need to figure out a friend circle who don't badmouth you after what you share.
Yes. Yes.
The same thing is required for a man. Now men are very good at maintaining friendship, but very bad at really pouring their heart out to their friend. So at least you need to build one or two friends, male friends, whom you can really be naked to, and they can also be naked to you. So that you don't pile up everything inside you, you can communicate. And then the fourth thing is physical fitness. Most of the time, women after an age will not work out, will start putting on weight, will blame it on being busy, have kids, घर में इतने काम हैं, time नहीं मिलता है. आपके पास 1 घंटा time नहीं है अपने लिए, rethink life. You having that physical exercise routine in your life, one, it makes you look like a bomb. And when you look like a bomb, your man will be at your toes, at his toes. Okay, jokes apart. But exercising daily is very meditative. When you are going to gym and you do start working out, first 10-15 minutes, when you walk, it doesn't happen. When you do a rigorous exercise, that's when it happens. First 10-15 minutes, you will still be in that zone of, okay, I'm still thinking, घर में ये काम है, वहाँ वो करना है, वहाँ ये delivery है. But then it gets to the rhythm कि okay, next 5 repetitions, next 10
You
repetitions.
start
to a
focusing on your own self, your own
then
body.
you're just focusing on breathing. अच्छा ये set खत्म करते हुए. Then suddenly everything else zones out, and it really helps your mind get a break. And woman mind is always overthinking. It gets very difficult to get that break. So, and also it is proven when you rigorously work out and you sweat out, your skin is better, your health is better, your emotions are better,
Yes.
and you feel way more stable and centered. So physically keeping yourself fit, not for anybody else, but for yourself. And when we look great, we feel great in this body. Financially,
It also boosts our confidence to deal with the
yes,
world.
yes. And then you live longer, you have better hair, better skin. I mean, like, I cannot stop counting the benefits of having a fitness regime in everybody's life. Financial independence, emotional independence, and a social life of your own. When you have these 4 things of your own, both of you, then when you come together, you will have a great couple relationship. Most of the time people mix everything, सब कुछ साथ में करते हैं, and फिर वो सब गड़बड़ हो जाता है.
You're too dependent on each other for every aspect of your life.
Yes, yes. You know, couples start going to gym together, they start socializing together, they start eating together, everything together. You're bound to get bored, यार. आप अपने बेस्ट फ्रेंड के साथ भी 24 घंटे रहना शुरू करो, 1 महीने में आप बोर हो जाओगे. You will not have anything to speak. Basically, बोर हो जाओगे मतलब you will have nothing to speak. But when you go for your own workouts and you come together,
So it's like dating, right? Like,
Yeah.
because when you're dating, you're actually having your own independent lives. Then when you meet, you want to share it with each other. You
Yes.
want to talk about it to
Yes.
each other. But when you're living together, you're just so, say, ghussofied in each other's life that there's nothing. The conversations are so mundane, right? Like, the
Mundane, yeah.
conversation is like, क्या खाना बनेगा?
क्योंकि you
like,
feel सब
only
कुछ तो
that.
पता है ना,
हाँ.
कुछ शेयर करने कोई नहीं है. So, but when you have 2 people living their own complete life, when they come together because they want to be with each other. They want to spend time. You know, like the whole day is gone. Now I'm looking forward to this 1 hour to be with him. And that will only happen when I have lived a complete life the whole day. So, it's very important for couples to have their own lives. Be it single or be it double.
How often do you see that people lack respect for each other? And does it happen from day one of marriage, or over time people tend to lose respect?
Over time, losing respect happens because when somebody is behaving a certain way, that we spoke about, so many conflict
yeah.
ways we can resolve that. Initially, again, I will come from, if you're marrying me, I would love to believe you respect me.
Yes.
And if I am agreeing to marry you, I would love to believe that I respect you and I love you.
No, everybody wants respect, and everybody.
No, but the definition is different. Again, just because I am not getting the respect the way I expect doesn't mean you are disrespecting me. I need to understand and then sit and tell you, hey, you know, morning what happened? I felt disrespected and I know you will never disrespect me. Then can we talk about it? What I felt. But what people come back and say, you disrespected me, you insulted me in front of everybody, and that's how you start the conversation. Then it's just never, I mean, I would love to believe my partner is with me for a reason, no? So why will he disrespect me? And why will I disrespect him? There's no reason.
Okay. The last elephant in the room is divorce that I want to address. Divorce rates are increasing.
Yes.
And in India, it seems to be a very recent phenomenon that the divorce rates are increasing. One, why people reach the verge of divorce?
So, in case of infidelity, if your partner is not coming, the cheating partner is not coming to terms with it and is not ready to mend their ways.
Is infidelity the biggest cause that you have seen, at least, for
Yes.
divorces?
Yes.
Okay.
And if not ready to come to terms with it, and if they are not realizing and really remorsing and repenting their action, correcting themselves, then divorce is
Imminent.
Yeah, and I feel it's good enough. It's good thing because the person who is on the receiving end is unnecessarily staying in a relationship where you are never the priority for your partner. Other things is people are trying for sure because I see so many people reaching out to us every single day, and it's not just me, like there are so many other counselors are also saying people are reaching out to them. So people are trying, things are not working out, and when things are not working out, I believe it's a good thing to separate.
True. What I want to understand is that, see, divorces are increasing, things are not working out. One is, as you said, infidelity is increasing, so it's a direct correlation over there. Now, do you see that, of the people who come to you, a lot of times their issues remain unresolved and that leads to divorce because.
Yes, yes, for sure. So that's what. So infidelity is one. Physical abuse is huge. Um,
Okay.
and very shockingly, very dignified, qualified, high performing person is hitting his wife. They could be doctors hitting their wife. There are CEOs of the company, they just appear to be there making woman friendly rules in their companies and coming home and hitting their wife. So physical abuse is a reason, and but I see women go through a long years of physical abuse before they say that I'm not able to take it anymore. Then in-laws interference. If it is going beyond tolerance and the receiving partner has tried everything, tried coaching, counseling, things are not getting resolved, it is leading to divorce. Parents are not understanding that their interference is even bringing their kids' marriage to divorce, but they still don't want to back out. So that's also one reason. And also one reason that I see is that over the years, the couple have grown differently. So they are not able to connect with each other. They are no more enjoying the same similar activities. They don't have common conversations. They're just living because marta to nahi hai, affair to nahi
Oh,
hai.
that's so sad.
But then, what's the point? If you're not feeling love for your partner, you don't feel like talking to your partner, you don't feel like cuddling with your partner, it's okay to take divorce. It's no more a taboo. And I believe and I see when people come forward and say that, see, we are not fighting, we don't have cat fights or we don't have ugly fights. Somehow we have stopped relating to each other. We have grown out of each other. And we just are confused that should this lead to divorce? So I respect those couples. That
As a relationship coach, you have seen that people do try,
yes,
right? And that's a healthy sign.
yes,
I think contrary to the popular belief that now we are getting westernized and we are just seeking divorces and we are, not trying enough in our relationship, you're saying that people do try. And when they feel that they can't anymore for whatever reason is
yes,
when they seek out for divorce.
yes. And there are people who are also taking divorce at the drop of their hat, no doubt about that also. But it's a part of westernization only that people are moving towards counseling and therapy. Because outside India, you will see, at least in US, I see people are way more open to therapy and counseling and coaching
Yes.
as
Yes.
compared to India. So now India is turning that way is very positive. Also, it is not that I would say divorce is not a taboo. If things are not working, you can take divorce, but do give it a serious try, 1000% before taking that conclusion. And one of the things of 1000% is you got to seek out external help. Because जहाँ आपकी सोच खत्म होती है वहाँ से शायद किसी एक्सपर्ट की सोच शुरू होती है. सो डोंट थिंक दैट अच्छा मैंने पापा मम्मी से बात कर ली, घर में बहुत सारे लोगों ने हमें समझा लिया, हम फिर भी नहीं कर पा रहे हैं. एक बार किसी एक्सपर्ट से बात करके देखो, मे बी इट्स अ थर्ड पर्सन's point of view that will help.
And have you seen a lot of cases when people come to you and they eventually end up leading a good life? And I know I'm directly asking you a question which may affect your which may have a bias. But what I want to also sort of emphasize here, or maybe understand, that hey, therapy or counseling does repair your relationship
Yes.
to back to its original or
Yes.
happy state,
It's
because
not
it should not feel
original,
like
it's
a
very evolved.
evolved state.
Yes. So I would say that most of the people, actually 100% of the people who come to us, they are looking for mending their relationship. And first step is that willing. The clients are willing. We are here to guide, but if you don't go back and take those actions, then I can only take session after session, nothing is going to move. So I feel that it's a partnership that we get from the clients, and I'm lucky to meet such amazing human beings every single day who are fighting for their relationship. And so my belief in relationship just keeps growing every day, because people are really working hard and people are coming together, and it's just such a celebration for all of us to see families reuniting. There are times kids reach out to us that their parents are fighting.
Okay.
There are times parents reach out to us saying that their kids are, getting divorced and they're talking about divorce. So different kind of family dynamics, and when they all come together and then they celebrate, and we give pictures of anniversary pictures, and when they had
So
kids,
sweet.
their pictures, and so it just keeps that strength alive in us, that it's not a temporary solution. We have seen 5 years later, 10 years later also, we have been in touch with our clients and we see they are thriving.
Very
And
nice.
that gives us a huge satisfaction.
Nice. I have one last question, which would probably be a summary of everything that you just said. Define the concept of a beautiful relationship. So, if a man and a woman are coming into a relationship today, maybe they're looking to date each other. How would you say this relationship is beautiful, or what should be the ideal state of a relationship?
Ideal is different for different people. For
Huh.
me, it is when two people can be absolutely free to be themselves with each other. So you be so complete by yourself that you never feel the need to fix and change the other person. And same is with your partner. And when two such people come together, they give absolute freedom and space for the other person to be themselves. Like the highest form of love is I love you for who you are, not who you can be. And that's when people feel just free. Like I feel most free with my partner, then I want to run back to my partner, right? Every single day. Because everywhere else I have to follow certain norms and conditions, but with my partner I don't have to. Because I can be myself. So then where do you go? You go back to that partner, right?
Beautiful. Thank you so much, Sucheta.
Thank
it
you,
was a
Nimisha.
lovely conversation and so many reset moments that I would urge my listeners to take from this conversation. I think everybody who's listening to this conversation is going to benefit from it. I surely am going to benefit from it. I think I just got a counseling session right
I'm
here.
glad.
So I'm so happy and glad that
Really.
you were here and you spoke so candidly. Fabulous conversation.
Thank you, Nimisha. It was a great conversation with you. And I think the way you ask questions, you ask the right questions, and that's how we answer. Like it's always in the art of who asking the questions, no? Who is asking the questions? So you're amazing with your conversations.
Thank you.
And I'm really glad that you got some values.
No, seriously. Like so many aha moments were there. And I think inherently we all know a lot of things, but to have somebody come and validate those feelings also is a very big deal.
Very big deal, yeah.
And when you hear it from an expert, it becomes even more validated, and you find that strength. Ki, okay, maybe I was not thinking in a wrong way, because again, you tend to question your
Yes,
own
yes.
feelings.
We
You
all
tend-
do that, yeah, because we are grown up in an environment which expects us to be somebody else.
Yeah.
And so when we choose our path, we constantly question, am I on the right path?
Totally.
ठीक तो कर रही हूँ ना?
Totally. Like I feel that for a person, like I'm very independent that way, but I constantly keep on questioning myself. Maybe the answer is always coming out to be in my favor, or I do consider my feelings, but I still end up questioning myself so many times. Like I feel I'm the most critical self to myself than
Yes,
anyone else,
yes.
and that tends to impact my own sanity,
Yeah.
my own
Yeah.
stress levels. सामने वाले को फर्क भी नहीं पड़ रहा, आप खुद ही वो प्रेशर बनाकर बैठे हो अपने ऊपर,
The first pressure is me only.
है ना? Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Nimisha.